Good evening, everybody. This is Jard. I'm Marquita. Thank you for joining us today on Conversations with Jard and Marquita.
What's good, everybody? uh, we have a good conversation for tonight.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Dee Dee.
Hey, Miss Didi, how you doing?
So you guys come on in and join us for tonight's conversation. The lighting looks different. Let me turn that light on.
There's that wall right there.
That's not. Jessica. Actually, you probably turn some of these lights off. That's it. Recess. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay.
Hey, Jessica. Hey, Tamika.
What's up, Tamika? Dana, what's up, Dana? Put my glasses on.
Dana
I can
Chantel,
see.
what's up? Tanisha, how you doing?
All right, let's get into it. There we go. I can see.
So tonight's topic, I thought it would be befitting
Why?
because Halloween's coming up. It's scary.
So how is that befitting?
This topic is kind of
Oh,
intense and scary.
okay.
It
So
can be for
it
some
can be.
folks, yeah.
So tonight's topic is talking about in-laws. In-laws. So the in-laws. Before we get into that, as usual, y'all got any questions y'all have for us? Any topics of discussion you guys want to jump in? Don't let me always be in front of you, baby. Any topics of discussion you guys huh?
So did you? Oh, okay.
What's up, Glenn?
Hey, Glenn.
Y'all having any issues or somebody you know having any issues that you want to talk about
Inbox us.
even now?
Oh, yeah. Post
Yeah,
it in the comments.
post it
Yeah,
now.
so we can look at it and add it to our repertoire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tonight's topic is the dreaded in laws. For some people, it's the dreaded in laws. For others, it's the in loves. Because you do have some that
Yep.
they mesh well together.
I think some
Hey,
of the
Joel.
principles are going to still be the same though. What's up, Joel?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the principles are still going to be the same. All right, so Halloween is just around the corner.
Mhm. Sunday, I think.
Yep.
Do you guys celebrate Halloween? Some people do, some people don't.
So our youngest daughter is turning 13. She's
13?
finally going to be a
Oh my
teenager.
God.
Um,
On what, Thursday?
Thursday
Oh my
in
God.
about 2 days.
She was just born, y'all. And now she's gonna be 13.
Yep,
That's
she's going to
my
be a
baby girl.
teenager. Alicia.
Hey. Oh Lord, I don't want to cry on camera.
So yeah. Anyway, so she's turning 13. We're going to be celebrating her birthday.
Child, she has a whole weekend planned
Hmm.
of fun for her 13th birthday. So Lord be in our wallets.
Jocelyn, what's up, Jocelyn?
Hi. The Kennedys in Alabama. How are you guys? How are you guys?
I did it on purpose. Yep. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. We are talking about in-laws. So
Glenn said
uh,
he posts his question.
yeah, post your question, Glenn. Post your question. So here's the question that we're going to be that we're posing to everybody tonight. A few questions. What are some issues you've had with your in-laws, whether you're married or not? What are some issues you've had with your in-laws? What are some issues do they have with you? Um, what are some of the struggles of having to navigate?
Meshing
Yeah,
cultures together.
yeah.
Hi, Dia. Hi, Miss Gail.
Hey, Miss Gail.
Yeah. So what are some
So in-law issues.
obstacles or what are some advice? Because someone may have some advice on here that you would give to someone on how to bring the worlds together.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we're talking about But before we get into that, we're just giving a few people a chance to get in, uh, and whatever questions that you guys may have. I think somebody was going to post a question. Go ahead and post those now before we get into the topic. All right, here's a question. In relationships, why do people come to their significant others with they heard or receipts, but never divulge the source or actually show the receipts?
Mm. Probably because they want to be able to still rely on their source and have their source operate incognito for them. That's probably why they never divulge the source. Um, but I don't know why they don't show receipts. Maybe because they don't really have receipts. They're just speculating and they want to pull it out of you instead of being direct. They just want to, go around and see if you will actually confess.
Yeah, that's somebody being sneaky.
Hmm.
Simple as that. That's somebody being sneaky, even if they are not the ones doing the dirt, but they still have a full, sneaky, underhanded, deceitful way of doing things. And they just, and maybe they, I don't know what, where that would go, but they would definitely need to grow out of that.
Okay.
They definitely need to grow out of that. So that was a good question. They definitely need to grow out of that. Hey, Ebony
Hey,
and
Joya.
Joya,
Hey.
that was a good question. All right, cool. Uh, So Jessica says she doesn't have any issues with her in-laws. All right.
Good
Does
job.
Curtis have any issues with his?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about any other questions, whether they are on the topic that we have for tonight or not. Throw them out. She says he probably does. What up, Jeremiah?
Hey, brother.
So if you're just coming in,
You're welcome.
uh, here is the topic of discussion. The topic of discussion is in-laws.
Mhm.
And we want to know what issues you have had with in-laws or somebody else. You're talking for a friend, or what issues in-laws have with you. What are some of the obstacles, or you may have, or just what are some of the wisdom that
Mhm.
that you gain over your experience of dealing with in-laws. I say in-laws, but that's for if you're dating or if you're married.
Right.
So let's get into it. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
huh? Oh, here. Wait a minute. Marquita want to text our cousins to get on. Tamika, am I saying that right? Lockhart. I know Lockhart. Hey, Tamika. All right, so we can't start yet because Marquita said she need to make sure her cousins get in on this conversation.
Mhm.
My in-laws need to get in on this conversation. Yeah, yeah. Love the black changes everything. Oh, is that right? You talk about the
Right. Thank you,
background.
brother.
All right, so here we go. So let me of course y'all already know how we do.
Yeah.
So we're transparent. So Marquita and I have been together for married 15 years, been together 16, at least 16 and a half probably.
Yeah.
And so we've had to navigate in-laws for 16 and a half years. I have to say this up front. Marquita is from Fort Lauderdale,
Tell me
but we live in Jacksonville, Florida, where I'm from.
Say two about.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. And so
Represent.
the reason here is mine, Marquita, you can tell yours.
Okay.
The reason why our relationship, as it relates to in-laws, has worked so well, at least from on my end, is because we live here and not in Fort Lauderdale. Had, in my opinion, had we lived in Fort Lauderdale with your family, it would be a lot
More
difficult.
challenging.
Yeah, a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging, because of our personalities. My
Mhm.
personality is because I live here with my family, but
You're
um,
more of a loner.
yeah, I'm a loner. I'm not a loner, but I'm more of a loner. I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. A lot of people see me, maybe even you may think, even with these lives that I'm an introvert because you see me in a particular element of mine. and you may think you see this
Extrovert.
extrovert, but I'm more of an introvert. And so I like staying to my core, which is my family and no more.
And
Which is my
I'm the opposite.
right.
I welcome everybody. I love it.
No, that's to say I don't welcome. I don't
Well,
welcome
you
people.
do welcome people. Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
I'm the
I
opposite.
welcome everybody. I tell everybody else to go home.
I'm not an introvert. I'm borderline because I did like this. I'm an
Yep.
introvert, but I am more of an extrovert.
When it
I
comes
would
to your
say.
family, it's something totally different. When
Yeah,
it
I'm a
comes to your
totally different
family,
person.
you're extrovert. You all in.
Right.
And so I live here with my family, but
Me too.
I'm not around my family as often as Marquita would be if we were lived
Yeah,
in
that would
Fort
be
Lauderdale.
a daily thing for me because my family's just everybody's just intertwined. I
Right.
mean, everybody has their own space, but we're all just intertwined.
So her family after 16 and a half years, hey
Hi,
Aisha,
Aisha.
what's up, Joseph? For her families to still like me and love me after 16 and a half years is because I'm not there that often. And it's and really, I don't want to get all deep, but the Bible says that. Bible
It
says
does.
seldom visits make for long
Yep,
relationships
it sure does. Hey,
or
Crystal.
long friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so that's kind of
That's
how
wisdom.
that happens for us. So, however, we have had some issues with in-law situation, more so with my family, not because mine is much more different than hers, to be quite honest with you, just because
Just different culture.
we're not there often. So we both have very, very big families and very, very strong-willed, opinionated, arrogant families. And I say the arrogant part is because, like Marquita's family, there's nobody on this green earth or this blue earth, whatever it is, that's better than the Browns. Everybody want to be a Brown. Ain't nobody thought nothing about being no doggone Brown. But in their mind, everybody wants to be a Brown. Everybody wants to be around the Browns. Everybody wants to go to the church where the Browns go. Everybody wants to go to the cookouts when the Browns are having them.
So you roll with Bill.
Yeah. So it's the Browns. So that's how I say that arrogant piece. And same
We're
thing.
very prideful in our family dynamic. We are. We
Yeah.
are.
And same thing with my family. We've much like let me go to Marquita's family again. They were the prominent family in their church.
Yep.
And they pretty much ran everything as far as the
We had
business
hand in everything. Yeah.
of the church. They are or were the family of the church, still are. And they have very strong personalities in their family. A lot of women, a lot of strong women, and also a lot of dominant men as well. Now, with my family, same thing. We carry that same arrogance that, the Williamses are it, and we dress better than everybody. We have better taste than everybody, and we are that family. Everybody has flocked to us and likes to be around us and have connected with us. And of course, my father being a pastor of a church, and so we're the first family and the whole 9 yards. And so we kind of carried it like that. And so you gotta think about it. You got two strong-willed families that produce two people who are now together, who now have the assignment to try and mesh these two worlds together in some way, form, or fashion.
And when we say two worlds, I mean your background, my background, and then we have to try to carve out and cultivate our own culture for our own home.
Absolutely. So here's the first thing that I will give you as a nugget. What you need to do is respect what was before you. That's the first thing.
And that's not easy for everybody
Right.
to do.
You got to respect what was before you and outside of you. So outside of me and my Williams's family was the Browns, and whatever that pride and the greatness of the Browns were before me. And same thing with Marquita. Outside of her world with the Browns was the Williamses, and we stood alone and without them. And I was
Mhm.
fine as a Williams, and she was fine as a Brown. So, and then we come together and create a whole new chemistry and a whole new world and a whole new makeup. And we want to be seen as a couple. You know, we want our world and whatever it is that we do to be seen as individual from my family, individual from her family. We want them to recognize who we
The
are.
unit, right?
That's where you come into trouble. That's where you come into trouble. Uh,
Because see, to him, to his family, well, that's just right. Fall in line. To my family, that's key to fall in line.
right,
Being your and when I call, you do this, that, and the third, and it's like, I'm married now, so let me run it by my
right,
husband.
right. So, story time.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
So
Woo.
I remember when Marquita and I were dating and we had gotten engaged. I was living in Atlanta. Marquita was living in Tallahassee. And I said to my dad, I called my dad on the phone and told him that we were getting married. We were going to getting married in Atlanta. And my pastor there was going to marry us and so forth. He was not having that. Didn't like that at all. Because he's the pastor of our, he's my father. He's my pastor. He's the pastor of the family, And so when I said that we were not having it in Jacksonville, and also when I said that another pastor was doing it, that was a huge problem. Let me tell you why. I said we decided what we decided. Atlanta was a neutral ground. It wasn't my hometown. It wasn't Marquita's hometown. It was a town that we fell in love in.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have it there was a neutral ground. Everybody got to travel, right?
Mhm. Hey,
Um,
Uncle.
hey, so we decided we're gonna have it there, and then also, we our pastor there at the time
Mhm.
had I don't know why we decided for her to do it, but we decided uh,
Just
for
trying
her
to
to
be
do it.
neutral
I
again.
guess neutral, yeah. My dad said to me, "No, you're gonna have it in Jacksonville, and I'm gonna do the wedding." And I said, "No." And here's what I said. I said, "Well, how about you know Marquita's family? They got to travel." Um,
And that's the thing we were trying to make it that's where equal, fair
yeah.
for both parts. Both will have to travel. Both will have to hey,
What up, So yeah, both will
have
have to
to
travel.
travel. Both, and just trying to weigh the responsibilities on both
Right.
so for it to be fair.
So when I said, "Well, how about Marquita's family?" My dad said to me, "To hell with her family. You're gonna have it in Jacksonville, and blah blah." And so I said to him, "You're uninvited, and nobody there in Jacksonville can come." And I said to Marquita, "Call your people and tell them they also are uninvited. We're not gonna have a divided situation."
And we didn't want to look one sided.
Right.
Hey,
And
mama.
Marquita's people had about two, three, 15 passenger vans already rented, and they were ready to come up. But that began the struggle of families losing their,
Cool, so to speak.
losing their produce.
Progress.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So your family is losing you, and my family is losing me, and therein, that's not the easiest thing to do. And so,
If you look at it that way, because it could have been we're gaining the opposite.
but there wouldn't been a fight if they thought they were gaining.
Yeah.
The issue came in because it's not only the losing the person, but it's also losing the stronghold or the ability to say something and that person just does it. You know what I mean? It's losing the what's the influence?
Mm-hmm.
It's losing the influence. And so at that point, now this is just very carefully. At that point, Marquita and I made a united front. Now, my daddy is a strong man. We all love him to death. We respect him. He is respected in the city, And so, but I needed to create that strong front. And what my father realized, which I'm sure he's proud of now, is that he met me in him. He met him in me at that moment.
You were your
Because
own man.
right,
Yeah.
and I needed to now take care of what I was building, right? And so we created that united front. That's important. Often I say this is some issues that in-laws can have. When you create a united front, that can be uh, a little much for your family to handle because you belong to us,
Right.
and we already know this is gonna last. So you're not about to just
And you knew.
yeah, you just got here. You're not gonna let them just tell you what to do, or let her just run all this
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, that's what you can't just let nobody come in and do this.
Yeah,
And
we
that.
only know
This is what we're
if
used to do.
his shoes gonna stay tied. Listen, yeah. So that war is starting to happen. And so all right. So that began some of the struggle. Now you're getting quiet now.
You see my uncles?
So that became some of the struggle. All right. So first nugget again
Yes,
is
Dana.
is that what she said? Is that why I didn't get that? Right? Yes. Is that you have to learn to respect what was before you, and what existed before you in their family structure. Here is another situation. Story time again. Y'all ready for story time? So,
Talk
um,
stories.
Marquita and I had we bought a new house. Now, I can tell you all the stories. All right, so we'll talk about that. We bought a new house, and my family is like this. When somebody get a new house, somebody get a new car, somebody get a new job, we coming over. Like, oh, you got a new house? Everybody coming over. We want to see the new house. Or you got a new car? When you're coming over, to drive the car over here, it's usually at a central house, a mom and them house, and everybody jumping in the car, and we're gonna all drive around in your new car. We just celebrate with one another. We're a close knit family. So we got a new house, and we hadn't invited anybody to our house yet. Um,
Because we
um,
were trying to get it hospitable.
get it right, get it hospitable, and plus the dynamic and the fabric between Marquita and I and my family wasn't exactly what it needed to be because we didn't understand some things. Let me be quite honest with you, Marquita was still growing and understanding some things when it came to in-laws. Because here is what the deal was. I guess I'm doing a lot of talking
Go
tonight.
ahead, let's go.
So here's the deal was no, not Marquita. You just ain't talking because the
Yeah,
people
I
on.
can see.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell it all so you don't want to talk to my people on. He said I don't like these stories. So I'm trying to help somebody out. So here's what Marquita struggled with and maybe even struggle with now is that my family is not hers.
Right.
So they're not going to operate like your family does. They're not going to have the personality that your family has, and they're not going to have the same culture that your family has. So if you're expecting my family to be yours, then you're going to be disappointed every single time because they are a whole different dynamic of people with a whole different dynamic of culture than what your family is.
That's an unrealistic expectation that a lot of people go into with their marriage. We have hopes and dreams of, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be the auntie that get all the cousins and the kids together. And then when your plan is halted because of reality, it's like, wait a minute.
Because this is what grandparents look like.
Right.
This is what
right.
uncles do. This is what family gatherings look like.
Right.
And that happens for your world from
Right.
where you come from.
Right.
And that may or may not, usually it's not the same for what you are getting yourself into. Because opposites attract anyway.
Right.
And so if you're opposite from me, whoever you are is because of where you come from. So anyway, so my family has a particular dynamic in it. Most of my family are alpha people. I mean, I don't know any of it's eight siblings. I have eight siblings. It's me and seven other siblings. My mom, my dad. We got cousins and so forth. So there's not one non-alpha.
I was like,
in my family structure. We're all dominant. We all have our own opinion. We all love hard. We all love big. and we also have very dominant personalities. And so even in my family, my sister, well, one of my sisters, she kind of runs or tries to run everything, and we kind of just acquiesce and let her run it because that's just how the situation is. And so when you connect with us, uh, when you connect with us, see, our in-laws bothering stuff now, texting while we trying to talk. Anyway, so when you connect with my family, you're gonna go through my sister and my grandmama, and both my grandmothers were alpha, and they just just like that. And so there's a dynamic already going on. There's a culture for when we have Thanksgiving. There's a culture for when we have Christmas. There's a culture already there. And if you come into the family, you're new and you fall in place with the culture that's already there, or you're going to have some trouble.
Hey, trainer, Richard.
All right. And so and the same thing is true with Marquita's family. They have a structure of when they have family holidays and Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's already set, right? And everybody just fall in line. If you bringing your little boyfriend around, or you bringing your girlfriend around, or you just got married to somebody, whatever the case may be, y'all just fall in line with what we do. You're not gonna come in over into the Browns and try to change what the Browns already got established from Ivory and Lavoia 90 years ago. You ain't gonna come in and try to change all that. You just come in and you just fall in line. And so with me being such a individual, I have how I want things to happen. So we have bought a new home, and my family had decided we having one of the holidays over at Jared and Marquita's house. And of course, that's just kind of how we do. All right, yeah, it's gonna be at your house now because you got you got the new spot. And we're like, okay. We were a little hesitant at first, and then we decided, okay, bet. But here's where we made the mistake. Not Marquita, we made the mistake.
Right.
Because we decided, all right, y'all come on, we can have it at our house, and we want to introduce you all to the chemistry and the culture that is exclusively Jared and Marquita.
Right.
The violation was that we were saying we're going to cut out the culture that is the Williams culture for ages, and introduce you all to a new culture because you're coming to our home, that what we do. So we changed the menu. We and then we got a dog. No, none of my family have dogs. not not one. And we got a dog, so the dog gonna be here. So I got my grandma coming. My grandma, 90 years old, and my uncle's coming, and da 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 da. And so when we started telling them, okay, hey, this is what the menu gonna be, and our dog's gonna be here, so blah blah blah. You know,
Catered.
yeah, we're gonna have I think we're gonna have it catered and everything. All you have to do is just come and do this and do that. They hit the fan. Hit the fan. First, my grandma said, "You better put that dog in a kennel. You take that dog to a kennel." We don't have no dogs at our, that. We don't have no dogs, such so and so, and so we're getting offended. That's our dog. You're not gonna tell. How I'm gonna go take my yeah. I'm gonna take my dog into a kennel because y'all coming over. So we're getting offended. And then, we say, hey, you know what? All you have to do is pay this money because we're gonna have it catered, and this is gonna be the menu, da 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 da. And they were like, we don't. That's not our menu. Like, what are you talking about? We don't do that. And we had changed the time of where we were going to have it to suit what we wanted. We're going to treat them well. It's going to be fantastic and all of that. And eventually, they was like, we ain't having it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And they were offended. We were offended. They were upset that Christmas. I don't know if I saw them at all because now you got issues all because of my wife. No, I'm joking. I'm just throwing you a bone. But it's because you have to understand family dynamics. So what we eventually understood, and I'm glad we have, is that something like that, your family has a culture. They want you to respect their culture.
Right.
And as long as as often as you're going to connect with them, which means you don't have to be connected, your day doesn't have to be intertwined with your families every single day.
Right.
But as long as you do connect with us, then Put down who your new modern selves are for a moment and just get into the culture.
Hey, Kevin, that's Jocelyn's husband.
What's up, Kevin? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
What's
what
up,
we were.
Ken?
Okay, that's what we were.
That's what we learned. So
What we
respect
learned.
not only what was before you,
Right.
but respect that was before you is still now. There are some patriarchs that came before you. There's some
Yeah.
matriarchs that came before you, and there are some cultures that are nostalgic to that family that make them who they are. And to be quite honest with you, quite frank, they don't care
Right.
about what your little new individual couple chemistry is and how modern you are and how whatever. They don't care about that. You say, well, that type of food is why we buried the last two relatives eating like this and eating like that. So we're not having that. We need to have this. They don't care about none of that. This is what looks like love for us. So bring the hog maw, bring the chitlins, bring the what collard greens, bring this whatever it is, whatever, or yours may be something totally different. But whatever their culture is, that's what looks like love to them, and they don't want you to strip them of their culture.
Just house it.
Yeah, just to suit you.
Yeah, just allow us to come in. Thank you for being
And
gracious
house
and
our
house
culture.
our culture. Yep.
Yeah, don't try to change it. Just house it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's just like if I said, Kevin, we come to your house, so that's it. All of us are coming to your house. All of your family or some your wife's family is coming to your house. We just need your house as no, sir. No, your phone call did not start this conversation. This was planned.
Oh, so Uncle Gene said that? Oh, no.
So your house is just that. The house.
He said his phone call started this conversation.
I can't even talk. You house our culture. Make sure we ain't gonna tear nothing up. But that's pretty much what
Yeah.
the family is looking for.
Yeah. All right, so Ebony asked the question. She says, how do you balance respect what was before and establish boundaries for yourselves and your future? So how do you balance and respect it by first acknowledging, you don't have to acknowledge it verbally, but acknowledge that one, it's arrogant to think that we're gonna show them how to be a true family.
Right.
Or man, your people don't really love like that, or they kind of mean. So we gonna show them how to do. That's arrogant. They don't whatever they've been doing it for however long they've been doing it, and it's worked for them, and they feel loved. So it's arrogant to try and come in and try and showcase to them how to love. Y'all see how we loving? Y'all don't do that. Yeah. So that's one way to acknowledge
the balance comes in when you understand, or I guess when you get this type of revelation and you understand people are going to be who they are to their core. You're going to be who you are to your core. To keep the peace, just let them have their way. No, I'm just kidding. That's not it. You're gonna do that.
No, you don't let them have their way,
No, I'm
but
just
you
kidding.
you have your boundaries, and
you set your own parameters and your own boundaries because it is still your home. So you set your boundaries, you set your parameters, and you allow what you allow to come in. If it's just you know what's gonna happen, this is gonna happen. It happens all the time. If you're cool with that, then you welcome it into your home, but you still set your boundaries. If I don't want, like at my house, you guys, we can have drinks and food or whatever, but over there, you're not. That's a boundary. You don't take no red stuff over there. That's white soap. We're not gonna have nothing red, nothing colorful. But you can bring whatever other drinks you want. You can bring the red drinks, but drink it over there. It's still setting boundaries, but I'm still welcoming you and your culture and your ways.
right. So here's another way to have a balance and respect is to not only respect the culture, but also respect the person that's connected to that family. So although you may not like it, or maybe I may not like it, or like it or not like it, whatever the case may be, it's not good for the spouse to drag the other spouse's family um, with their mouth because, and what you may be saying may be accurately correct. But that don't mean, but you have to understand that's where they come from. That's who they love. So you can't just drag them down the mud
and think the spouse is gonna be okay with that.
because you're being self-righteous. Well, that ain't right. And this ain't this. They shouldn't do that. Your family shouldn't. And then you say, "Well, I'm trying to protect you." Well, look, you know,
I can
you
protect.
just need to know the balance of when to say something or when not to say something. That's right,
That's right,
Rakia.
girl. Tread
Tread
lightly.
lightly because although it may whatever it is you're saying may be
It may be
totally
true and
true,
accurate,
I
but it's
may
a way
not.
to say it, and
Yeah,
it's a time to say it. And right then and there is not the time, and right then and there, the way you say it, if you want it, the goal is for your spouse to hear you and to receive what it is you're trying to convey, and you really need to work on your delivery.
and see, here's where the manipulation comes in because some a spouse may say, okay, well, I don't have to talk about them, and I also don't have to go around them, and my children ain't going around your family.
And I don't have to deal with
That's
them.
where the manipulation comes in at. Because at the end of the day, that's the children's family.
Family.
It may not be yours,
Right,
but
that's
that's
their
the
blood.
children's family. That's the blood. And so you can't manipulate it because you don't like it, and often it's manipulated because they want the spouse to do something about it. You should say something, and like until you say something or until something happens, and why the uncle won't say something because they know that what's happening. My children are going around there, and so now you're manipulating the whole situation so you can control the outcome.
And you may not see it as manipulation. Some parents see that as I'm protecting mine. I'm standing up for mine. Since you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But that's why you have your spouse. That's why you sit down and you actually have hard conversations with realistic goals in mind. Because you can't keep the children from their blood relatives forever.
Yeah. All right. What if the partner has expressed contempt towards the issue themselves, but they still cave in and do it anyway? Well, that means that some boundaries have not been set, and it also means, and there may be some boundaries have been set, but there may be some things that you as the spouse are just going to have to deal with. When
Yeah.
my Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that they may have it may just take a minute for them to warm up to it or to actually just change their mind, pretty much change their mindset, and they're thinking about the persons or thinking about the things that goes on. They have to address it and check themselves. Why does this bother me? What
When
does
I
this
wait,
do?
who are you talking about now?
If
No, say it again. What, I don't. I lost. What's?
the partner that has expressed the contempt
Mm-hmm.
towards the issue themselves, but they cave in and do it anyway.
So,
Like I don't want to do it. I feel like I'm being forced to do it.
no, no, no. Oh, okay. Well, I read that as a spouse knows that there are issues at their family, but and it has been expressed, but don't want to
Address it.
address it and cave into whatever the family
Oh
is.
no, maybe I did it wrong. I read it wrong.
Maybe you were right. I don't know. So go over that one, and I'll go with mine.
Okay, so if it's the way I understood it as the partner. It's just gonna take a minute for the partner to really check themselves, check their mindset about the issue or about the persons, and figure out what is it. Why does this bother me? Why is this hurting me? Why is this offending me? And what can I do for me so that I won't feel offended or so that I won't get upset about this and so I can handle this differently to keep the peace within my home and to keep the peace wherever it is I'm going
Right.
or whoever it is I'm dealing with.
I think some of that is stop trying to fix everything and everybody.
Yeah.
Love people the way they are, and you don't have to try and fix them. I
That's
think the other portion is you say, well, you've told your spouse this not right and how they do you, and they have agreed with you. Yeah, they do me wrong, and yet you do it anyway, and that may never change. It just may never change.
and it just may be that person's.
Right. That person may still be soft when it comes to their family, and that may never change, and that's okay because that's their family. Period. So, because if there are certain things, if certain of Marquita's family call, it really don't kind of really matter what's happening. She's going to answer that phone.
I'm
If
way up here in Jacksonville. I have to.
whatever the reason, if certain of my people call, I'm going to answer the phone. And not only am I going to answer the phone, but if I'm going to make myself available, if my mama call, I don't care what meeting I'm in, and I may be in, I may be sitting at the top of the table as the big leader in the meeting, but if my mother's call, I'm going to answer the phone. If my grandmother called, depends on how many times she's already called that day, more than likely I'm going to answer the phone. And only that, but I'm going to make myself available for them in that moment. All right. Now, Marquita and I already know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer the phone. It don't matter what it is.
Yeah, that's not true. But you may try to say that because they're on the line, but that's not true.
Oh.
But anyway,
No. Let's talk about it.
there's nothing to talk about. So
Oh,
if,
okay.
but we have had those conversations, and we respect that, and we're okay with that because we understand how we love our family.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, don't do
Don't do
granny
it
like
granny
that.
like
You don't know my grandma. I love her to death too. You even wake up early for you. Yeah, absolutely.
What
So,
did it say?
Sarah says, yeah, you even wake up early for your mama.
Yes.
Yes,
She's so silly. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Jeremiah says people don't change.
right, they don't, and it's okay. It's okay. And what makes it okay, here's the other boundary. What makes it okay is that you have not woven your life with your family. If you've interwoven your life with your family and your family, whether it's your in-laws or whether it's your family, are interwoven into your daily life, you're gonna have some issues after a while. Period.
Um.
So there, in my opinion, there needs to be a balance of how much you intermingle in your daily intermingle your family in your daily affairs. But
With Jeremiah said people don't change. That's true. And so knowing that, it still may be hard from some spouses to consider family members, um, of from their spouse's family members, their relatives. So I guess what I've learned from this is people, like you said, people don't change. I'm gonna be whoever I'm gonna be. They're gonna be whoever they're gonna be. You find a way to coexist, so to speak, and respect. I respect myself. I respect whoever as a person, and you just find a way to coexist even when you have big family gatherings, when it's just you and them. You find a way to have a medium, and not 9 times out of 10, it'll be about the children, or it could just be you made up within yourself. This is my husband's relative. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If there are any issues that arise that I have an issue with within a relative, I just let my husband handle it because that's his relative. I will bring it to your attention, and he'll talk to him, or he'll handle it the best way he sees fit. And I think that's how it should be, because a lot of times we take it upon ourselves and we forget that we're all family, so we should handle this cordially,
opposed to
or
feeling like an outsider.
opposed to feeling like an outsider and feeling like you all are against me.
Right.
So now I have to protect me. I have to stand up for me, because you get in a whole nother world when you feel like you're on the island by yourself.
Now, please believe this is a new revelation for her.
It is.
She's walking in this a newness of life, but it's great. So,
Not excited.
all right. So here's the other thing to that. When you do have issue with the in-laws, here's what's the problem in the relationship is because your spouse is going to take it personal because your spouse wants you to love who they love, get along with their family and be around their family
Right.
and love the dynamic that is their family. And so you don't ever come around. You go in the back if they do come, and
Isolate yourself.
you isolate yourself. And it's like you're antisocial. It's no longer you have a problem with my family. It's now I've got a problem with you because I don't like the way you're doing because it's embarrassing.
Who is the I?
The spouse uh, that is dealing with the other spouse that is now antisocial because of their family, and because the let's just say wife, the wife has a problem with the husband's family and has issues with somebody or whatever the dynamic or the culture is, and the wife is antisocial now, and the wife never goes around the family. Anytime there's an event, the wife finds something else to do, or just says, "No, I'm not going." And now the family, the husband's family, never sees you any longer, and so forth. And so,
that may go on for a while.
right,
And then it has to be addressed
right. What
because I'm not
I'm
gonna sit
getting
here.
at is that the spouse or the wife in this scenario, um, is now going to start having trouble from the husband, because the husband wants you to be, connected with me and my family. I want them to love you like I love you, and I don't want you to, whatever the case may be. And so now that husband is going to take it personal, and there's going to be an issue there. And now it's no longer the wife has a problem with the husband's family. The wife has a problem now with the husband.
The big issue.
And that, of course, is vice versa. And now the husband and wife are going at each other's throat, or just there's a bitterness there, wherein now if it's vice versa, the wife never tells you when she's going over there, or she doesn't talk about when she goes over there, because you are like
Yeah,
the like
hide their going their doings. Their Rakia
right.
says, "How do you fix that?"
What now?
Rakia, she says, "You
You
can't
can't
force
force
the
that
relationship."
relationship. So
So
how do we fix that?
it takes time and a lot of intentional work and prayer. I'm gonna be honest. It takes if you got a faith relationship, then you need to exercise it and use it because it takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of intentional effort on your part because you can't control nobody else but yourself.
Right. And some practical ways to rectify that is, one, to forgive if there's some things that have happened to you,
Mm-hmm.
and two is you don't have to address everything.
You don't.
You may need to address it with your spouse
Mm-hmm.
and get it out.
Right. And
But
even that could be touchy or testy, even addressing it with your spouse. So it takes some. Sometimes it does take some therapy, and so you can learn some tools and strategies to use on this problem.
says it is. I think it's back on. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, it takes some. You have to learn. Sometimes it takes therapy because you
But
need.
wait, because you take me off where I was trying to go.
Oh, go ahead, finish.
So you forgive, and you may need to address some things or vent. Be your fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she said most times,
Look at the writer.
baby, I'm not doing all that. All right.
Is
So
there live on the side?
yeah, I guess the broadcast keep coming in and out, but I don't know if anyone's just told y'all, but the feed keeps pausing. Yeah, we can see that. Um, so I'm not sure why
You
it's
want to
pausing.
adjust?
Nope, we're going because we're at the end.
Oh.
So let's.
Um.
Any other questions? Any questions? Again, let me just reiterate what I was saying as I kept going in and out. That let some things be. Try not to take so many things personal. You are not there to fix their family, and they're not there to fix you. Set some boundaries between you and your spouse. That we're gonna deal with this, and this is my buzzword. When I've had enough of it, because I ain't over there trying to change whoever they are. When I've had enough, I'm gonna do whatever I can to just sit and I'm enjoy it. But when I've had enough, here's my buzzword, so I can either go take a break or we can get up out of there.
Mhm. I was just gonna say, you have to develop a certain type of language with your significant other because it's a safe word or it's a safe space and it's a way of escape for you both because your spouse may not don't want to be embarrassed because of the way you may respond to stop has to say.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be willing to stop and hear what the other person has to say and not be offended by the way they may be conveying it. Try to hear their heart, and at the same time, the other person has to work on their delivery and using tact. Because we got to remember, you even though you're the spouse, you just got in
Yeah.
with your spouse.
But here's
So
the
you're
rule of thumb.
attacking their family.
Right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you're attacking their family, who they love, who they've been with for nearly all their doggone life. So you have to be careful the way you say it, what you say, and pray that your spouse can receive whatever it is you say to them, so that y'all the ultimate goal is met, and that's family peace. That's peace.
Right. I think you should, from the onset, make a pact that we are not going to let your family
No, nothing outside.
or my family come in between us. Period. We're gonna love each other, and and you're gonna help me know how to love your family, and I'm gonna help you know how to love my family and and get along with them, and inter.
And let that spouse take care. I won't say handle or take care of, but you can dump on your spouse, but don't try to take matters into your own hand. Let your partner do that, because they know their relatives.
They know how to navigate
They
those
know
waters.
correct.
Right. And so again, so I want to reiterate this because this thing keep pausing. That there has to be a root
Hmm.
that says we're not going to let our families uh, interrupt what we got.
Nothing should penetrate your force.
On top of that, we're also not going to isolate ourselves
Right.
because of our personal likes and dislikes and idiosyncrasies of other people outside of us.
Because you get really comfortable being isolated.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Draw a wedge.
So if that's a root, then you'll do what you got to do in order to uh, make sure that you all are doing well with navigating both families. So here's the thing that Marquita and I
Part 2 next week.
yeah, what's that?
They
Oh,
need my
okay.
five.
So you know what Marquita's out. I'm always trying to cover my wife. So
Yes,
when I'm
God
telling
bless
my
her.
stories, I'm covering my wife. So I'm telling her side too. Anyway, but you can talk whatever you want to talk. But I will say this, that like Marquita and I, we've been together for 16 and a half years. And we just made a pact early on that we're never going to argue about money. And that became a root for us. So no matter what we do, we don't argue about money. We may just be disappointed about some money situation, but we've never argued. We've never had we've had some fights. We've had some dragged down, arguments, but never about money. Why? Because we made a pact that
Early on.
we're not going to argue about that. And so it became a root and anchor for us. And so I'm saying to do the same thing as relates to your family. Make a anchor that whatever we do, we're not going to allow our family issues outside of us to um, mess up us.
Oh no, right.
Not that we won't have issues, but we're gonna, because that's the root, we'll figure out how to handle those issues. We'll figure out how to swallow some stuff. We'll figure out how to swim better in this current of the culture of that particular family. All right. Okay. So
Any questions for us?
yeah, any questions? I'm thinking about another.
And a lot of stuff may sound practical or like it's easier said than done. It takes intentional work. I'm just gonna keep saying
It takes
it takes
intentional work.
And you may not get it right the first 6-7 times.
Years.
You may not, because you're a whole person and you're comfortable, being you, and you're comfortable with your likes and dislikes. If you grown, if you don't want to deal with it, you don't have to. And so it takes intentional effort.
And usually, the growth is because you're being selfish.
Hmm. Yep.
I ain't got to take that
I don't have to. I
test.
got one
It's
like
not
yours.
about you. It's about, the bigger
goal,
picture.
the bigger picture.
So a lot of it is because you are selfish. We are selfish, and I don't want to be around that. Or they take too long when they're doing something. I want to be around all day or whatever the case may be. That's you being selfish. So once you get over you, and once you get over what you want,
Right.
and once you get over what you think it should be, and how you think it should go, and what you think is right,
you live in it.
Once you get over that, then you will have a better chance at actually making some practical love decisions as it relates to your in-laws. All right, it's been another good one. Did y'all enjoy this conversation? I know we had some technical difficulties. The broadcast kept going in and out. But tell us, let us know in these last 60 seconds
Or anything that you guys want to know.
if y'all enjoyed this conversation or whatever questions you got. We got 60 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that a 9?
that's a 9 right there.
Oh, it's a 9. Child. Eyes.
You and me want to let it go.
I know. I be having a good time.
What did she say?
This is the teacher that create transparency and obedience.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see.
All the talking. What's she talking about? What's Jessica talking
He said, Pastor J, you did all the talking.
about? Oh, yes. Very good conversation. On point per usual. Awesome conversation.
Okay.
She said I did all the talking. What you got to say? Because she wants your side.
We'll talk offline, Jessica.
Miss Beverly. Hey.
Hi, Miss Bolton. How are you?
So what you? I mean, what would you add?
I said my 2 cents.
Oh, okay. Y'all want a story? That's what y'all want. Y'all want story time from Marquita. And maybe we may do we may do next week a part 2. Maybe not. I don't know. Because for Marquita to have story time is unless you talk about your family, not mine. Because I don't want it to be just all my family. All right, it's 9:30.
All right, it's 9:30.
Oh, wait, before we go, listen. She's like, yes, part 2. Johnson said part 2. All right, bet. Y'all want part 2? We can get y'all part 2. You want part 2?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So you gonna tell them how you navigated some of the waters?
With
Your family and my family. But I had to deal with your family.
Okay.
That you didn't necessarily see
Right.
until, and then what you've had to deal with my family. Yeah, we can do part 2.
We can do that part 2 next week.
Yeah, because it's often hard for us to see our families.
Yeah.
Or see our families through
Because we're still
an outsider's
outsider's
eye.
viewpoint. Yeah, because we're still deep in the
Right.
trenches.
And usually the outsider's viewpoint is more clear. Somebody said, no. I know, right? It's the looks for me, my lady. So yeah, it's usually the outsider's looks. I'm sorry, the outsider's viewpoint
Everybody
is
say, leave it alone.
right.
That's our problem.
It's more clear, right? That don't mean it is right. We think because it's more clear, we become self-righteous. Just because it's more clear don't mean, and just because you got a clearer picture don't mean it's gonna change anything. Anyway, Sunday,
Yes.
Sunday, episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Couples miniseries this Sunday. We're still in season 1. Then I think we got a total of 5, 6. We got 2 more couples, right?
I think 2 more.
So we got a total of 5 uh, episodes in season 1. So Sunday is episode number 3 at 7:00 p.m. on our YouTube channel only. So I need everybody. Can y'all please do us that favor and go to YouTube and subscribe to How to Make Love Work. How to Make Love Work. You'll see us there. Subscribe to it. These episodes are incredibly great.
And this one is going to be super funny, guys. Yeah. I'm telling you. You thought the last one was funny. This one is going to be something else.
And if you haven't seen the last 2, Cedric and Jasmine, they told their story. Very beautiful couple, great couple. Go and watch theirs. And then Marquita and I told our story of how we met. Our story is very unique. Some would call it scandalous, but we call it such a beautiful story. Anyway, make sure you go. What's up?
We need to give them a live version of part 2. I think we should give them a live version of part 2, finishing telling our story.
Oh, okay. Part 2 of telling our story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. We If you do that, then it's not on YouTube. They can't go back and look. They can't go back. I guess they can. Okay. Anyway, Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time is episode 3 of our couples mini series where they're telling their love story, their journey, and they're actually also telling their journey in counseling with Marquita and I. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this now. If you're in counseling with us, you're going to be blessed. You're going to learn, you're going to grow, and it will probably save your marriage. I'm gonna say that again because I know it to be true. If you're in counseling with us, you're going to be blessed, you're going to grow, and it will probably save your marriage. I will also tell you, one, it's not free, because we've had some people to think that counseling is free. It is not free. Even my own family members and even our own church members, it's not free. It's not right. It's not free because we need the money. It's not free because if you are not willing to invest your own dime into your relationship, you'll take the sessions for granted, and it won't mean the same to you if it's free.
And that's just, I mean, tried and true.
Right, tried and true. So it's not free, and it's also not going to be easy.
No.
It's not going to be easy because it's not easy for one to face themselves.
That is the biggest thing. It's not easy for you to face yourself, accept what you see or what's being revealed to you. For a lot of people, that is extremely hard because they cannot see it and they will not accept it
until you do.
Okay, Jessica.
Yeah, until you do. And the other part of it, Mr. Be quite honest with you, the other part is also not easy to our approach, more so mine, is not easy all the time. Do you guys offer personal counseling as well, or only couple? Both.
Both.
I'm mumbling. Do you guys offer personal counseling as well or only couple counseling? We offer both. You can email us at htmlw@101006.com. Marquita put that in the comments, or just inbox us here on Facebook and let us know you want counseling and provide your email. The team will get your email and email you everything that you need. All right, so we'll see y'all Sunday on live on YouTube. Go now, and subscribe. Share this, everybody. Quick. Make sure you share this live before you leave it, and we'll see y'all Sunday, and then back again next Tuesday. Kisses.
Yes, Jocelyn. Yes, y'all gotta tell y'all story too.
Who's that?
Jocelyn.
Oh, Jocelyn.
And where's Curtis today? Jessica. You tell Curtis you got him.
Jessica told Miss Shirley not to get on too, because she knows who we gonna talk about.
I'm just kidding. She loves this.
She do. Yeah, they got a good relationship. All right, bye y'all. Good night.
Bye.
Y'all share this.